Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with aBlogtoWatch. Please subscribe to aBlogtoWatch videos on YouTube and like this video if you find it useful. This is a review of the Azimuth Xtreme-1 Deep Dive. Or Deep Diver. I don't think that you're probably ever going to see a watch like this unless you are looking for one. This is a very unique, original dive watch from Azimuth, a brand that pretty much only makes weird watches. They have a few that you would consider normal, but that's what I like about them. They have like some like interesting historic models and then just like weird stuff. There seems to be no continuity to what they do, and I always like watching them. They do an interesting thing. It's a Singapore-based brand, even though they make Swiss-made watches, and they do cool stuff for collectors. They've had stuff like their what were some of their more unique pieces? The roulette watch was interesting. There's one that you'll probably be able to find a review by the time this one's up, of a watch called the SP1 Landship. There's the Mr. Roboto, of course. Who could forget Mr. Roboto? You got to check out Mr. Roboto. That's an interesting one. Anyway, so this one is there's a collection called the Xtreme-1, and that starts with the letter X. There's no E, and then -1. And this is the Deep Diver. This is the only one with the kind of cuff style case. The other ones are a little bit more traditional in terms of their dive watch. So you have here a 56mm wide cuff style case, which apparently is made in titanium. So this is a full titanium case, but it feels like steel. I think that's because the inner part of the case is steel, and so. But if this was all steel, this would be much heavier. So it is titanium. It's water resistant to 2,000 meters. It is a highly legible dive watch with a rotating diver's bezel there, which is works out to be pretty nice. I like there how the sort of numerals are raised a little bit, and then you have luminant sort of painted in there. At 12 for the 15-minute section there. Luminant is really good on this. I mean, you can tell that there is an impressive level of lume on the hands, as well as the hour indicators. And there's something that's interesting here that you don't see very often. So look at the hands. There's this partial skeletonization to them, but on sort of the arms, between the skeletonization, there are little strips of lume. You don't see that very often. Inside this watch is actually kind of rare movement. It's the 2826. It's an ETA automatic. What's different between the 2826 and the 2824, for example? Well, the date. If you notice here, the date uses a larger disc. So the 2824 uses a smaller disc, and there's a different version that has a big date. This is not a big date because it doesn't have two discs for the movement. It just has a larger disc that has larger numerals. So sometimes they call it a big date. It's not technically big date. It's a bigger date. I guess that's the best thing you can say. So on the wrist, this one isn't perfectly sized for me right now, but you can see here the nice deployment clasp there. And I like how the rubber here kind of tapers there, and then you have the Azimuth logo that looks like someone scratched something. I'm sure they'll love me saying that. I also like here on the strap, there's this articulated joint here, which makes it wear a little bit better. So I gotta size that one for me. But you can see there, 56mm wide. Or maybe is it taller than that? I think it's about 56. Yeah. I mean, it's a big watch, but I think it's comfortable because of that wrapping. If you have a larger wrist, this is gonna look cooler. I don't know what you would wear this with. I don't know when you would wear this. Let's zoom out a little bit more just to see it there. But it's got these cool rivets there. I mean, it looks like a pretty serious watch. It's easy to read. It's obviously a diver. If you're wearing a dive suit, I think you'd be pretty intimidating. If you're wearing like a biker jacket, I think people would stay far away from you. You could slam someone in the face with this thing. I mean, it's got good weight to it. It's not going to slip around too much, especially if it was sized a little bit tighter. And it's cool. Imagine what this thing would look like with a full metal bracelet. That'd be cool. I think it's neat. I like that stuff like this exists. I don't think that this would be something that you'd want to wear on a daily basis, but if you want a really original looking dive watch, which is going to turn some heads, this is it. You got that helium release valve there, and you can see that the helium release valve is actually, it's actually sort of indented inside of the case there, because of how thick the titanium is. There's little things here are nice. So you can sample here. You can see the polished bevel edge. You have that here. So there's lots of little things that Azimuth did to make it look, I think you could say, more high class and less of this sort of hardcore instrument. It is a theme watch. It is a theme watch for people that want to feel like they exist as some part of a genre, some type of extreme exploration, extreme diving, something like that. And that's where the word extreme comes in. They're not taking this seriously in the sense that if you want to dive, you have to wear a piece like this, or that this is the only watch that can do a certain thing. It is a capable diver, it is a capable watch, but it is in its own way very honestly a novelty watch, and I appreciate that. Are some people going to love it? Yes. Are some people going to hate it? Yes, and that's what's cool about it. Price for the Azimuth Xtreme-1 Deep Diver is in the vicinity of about $4,900 bucks, and you can see the full review soon on aBlogtoWatch. Thanks.